So I have my client here, Tom. Tom has been with us for a little while now, so he's just here to talk about his journey, where he was at. He's probably in a fairly similar situation to most of you watching. So Tom, if you could introduce yourself, name, what you do for work, age, and where you were at months ago.
Yeah, no worries. So, my name's Tom. I am 44 years old. As you say, been doing this for a while. 43 when I started, but time is a bitch. For work, I'm a sales director for a software company, so really busy most of the time. And in terms of where I was, let's go with the weight, which is pretty horrendous. I was up at about, well, it was north of 110 kilos, close to 120 kilos when I started.
Okay, and where are we at now?
Uh,
Uh, you, you,
well,
you can go
there,
pre-wedding or post-wedding, up to you.
there have been some ups and downs. I did just get married, so there were a couple of kilos that went on over the wedding weekend. I got down to about 95 kilos. It went up to about 103, but it's coming back down now. It's back down to 100, and it's going in the right direction. So yeah.
Amazing, man, amazing, and it's been and again, no need to go into details if you don't want to, but Tom's been through a hell of a lot. Most people have the excuse of I'm too busy, I've got this going on, I've got X, Y, and Z. Tom, again, share as much as you're willing to in terms of like the ups and downs that you've had while still losing weight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fairly open book on this thing. So I have been through two rounds of unemployment, which was a real bugger. So spent a lot of my time hunting for work and having that as a priority. Tech is terrible, and redundancies are real. But on top of that, that's sort of the end of a long term relationship and the start of a new one with a girl on another continent. So I've been traveling backwards and forwards to the US to maintain a relationship, and it's difficult when you are not in a constant place, either mentally or physically. I'm not at my regular gym all the time. I'm having to scratch around at hotel gyms. I mean, I travel a lot for work anyway. So trying to find somewhere consistent to actually train is a bit of a pain in the ass, but you just gotta get on and play the cards that are handed to you, right?
Exactly. So, and this is one thing where everyone typically allows life to get in the way when it comes to their own health and fitness, and that's why they're sitting in the situations they're in. Whereas I would find it hard to imagine someone's been through everything Tom has, while still seeing progress and having weight loss and seeing like and again, it's not been a smooth journey. And I'm
No.
I'm happy with doing this because some people that would do these videos with it's like a super smooth journey and they lose a crazy amount of weight. But you've had some ups and downs, which is normal, and that's okay. But overall, if we look at your overall progress, you're in a completely different situation to where you used to be. So and long
Yeah,
may it continue.
yeah, and I think there's obviously a lot of whilst I haven't been fully motivated or fully dedicated for the whole period that we've been working together so far. I think that the critical stuff is actually forming those healthier habits. So when I was deep in job search, I wasn't really up for jumping to the gym every day, right? But with the nutrition plan that Simon had put together for me, the critical thing was realizing, hey, I could go back to eating a bunch of junk because I'm not feeling great. I'm not, not in a great headspace, but understanding understanding more about what I can and can't have from a nutrition standpoint. That's something I've always struggled with. I've got to be honest. Like, I've used various different apps for training, and some of them are great, some of them aren't so great. Having a structured training plan is really good, but I'd always struggled with the nutrition side of things. And you know, the having a better understanding of what I can and can't have meant that even when I was at serious low points through this process, I was still able to make better choices than I had done in the past. And that's one of the main reasons I think that even through the ups and downs of life, the weight has still been coming down.
Amazing, man. Amazing. And again, I really think it's a massive testimony just knowing everything you've been through. Even both both me and Simon were shocked at times. We're like, wow, like it's like you've been through it. So respect for the amount you've enjoyed and still come out on top, with weight down in a much better position. And I guess Tom, for anyone who's kind of on the fence, kind of thinking about it, or just watching videos, as I'm sure you did at one point, as we found each other
Mm.
on LinkedIn. What would you say to that person who's kind of thinking about getting into shape and still feels that maybe just needs a bit of a push?
I struggle to put it into proper words, like the difference that I mean, some people may call it modest weight loss or whatever, weight loss or whatever, but the reality is 20 kilos off is a that's a huge amount. And seeing the body fat percentage, I think when I started, it was up at about 38%. And now we're down at like 26% body fat. I really do struggle to put into words what that actually does. Part of my role is meeting tons of people, and I'd always been a bit self-conscious in the past. And just I don't feel that anymore. But actually, there have been other benefits that I hadn't expected. So I've got two young kids, as you well know, Asher, right? They're 8 and 6, and we took them on holiday the other weekend for my birthday. And at the place where we went, it was like a kids attraction, and I was chasing around on all the slides and the climbing frames with them. I couldn't have done that a year ago. I would have taken them to a soft play, and I would have sat there in the cafe and just watched them, feeling pretty miserable because I wanted to join in but just couldn't. And now I'm chasing them around, and at some points when we went away, I was ahead of them, right? And I was going down the slides with the new wife, because she's a big kid at heart. And I was fearful of that sort of stuff when I was much heavier. I was worried that I was going to get stuck in a slide and stuff like that. But like, it's those little extra bits that just let you enjoy your life more than you do before you start this sort of journey. And that I wasn't expecting that, and that has been a really pleasant and important sort of surprise as I've gone through this, is seeing how not only am I feeling better about the way that I look, but I'm also able to do stuff that I didn't even realize that I was missing out on. But now I can do it. I know that I was missing out on it for a very long time.
Powerful words, Tom. Really, really powerful words. Man, you cracked it. You've done amazing. I'm super proud of you, especially from our first conversation, in terms of your where you were at then and compared to now. Super proud. We've obviously got a little bit more to go to chip off the wedding weight, but we'll
Yeah,
get there and we're gonna crush it. So let's
I
let's
still
let's get to it. I know.
I still haven't done that
Go on.
pull up yet, but it's in sight.
That's in the locker now. Now that I'm fingers crossed, we've got a nice clear slate to go on. Then then
Yeah.
then that would be no doubt. So I know Simon's got a plan together, so we're gonna crush it. But Tom, thank you very much. Appreciate you a lot, man. Like I said, super proud of you. And for anyone who is watching this, who we haven't had the conversation yet, ping me on LinkedIn is always going to be best. We can have a chat, see if it's something that could work for you. And Tom, once again, thank you very much. Catch you later.
See you later. Bye.
Cool.